I mean, a little space. I mean, I don't need but a little space. A little space, little space. It's really all I need to get everything done. So, we're going to start with one of your biggest flavor boosters, salt. Everybody knows you need salt. Salt is a natural flavor enhancer. It does things chemically in your mouth to make everything taste better. We're also going to make it so that we aren't wasting our money. You need to get herbs. Fresh herbs is always the better way. The only problem with fresh herbs, like your rosemary, and especially your parsley. Parsley's starting to get a little sad. Short window of use. This is the way they saved their last herbs of the season before there was refrigeration. Don't throw the stems away, because like I said, parsley stems taste like parsley. We got another batch of things that we can do with that. Hands on top of the knife, so you shouldn't have any problems with getting underneath the knife. That's something we need to go over, is the secret to never cutting yourself.
What is the secret to never cutting yourself?
You ready? See that edge? It's sharp. If you don't want to put anything cut, don't put it in front of that edge. Think about where your knife is and keeping your finger out from in front of that. I will go on to say too, if you can get a close-up of my finger, let me show you. When we do chop something like an onion, if you notice, biology makes it so your fingertip kind of goes out like that, kind of gives you that concave scoop, almost like a spoon. Well, if you go like that, you've got a convex that pushes the knife blade away from your finger. So if you curl your fingers just that little bit and let the knife ride on your knuckle, you'll never cut yourself. Get my bowl. Go with, oh yeah, so half a cup. Nice half cup of parsley. Let's move on to rosemary. We'll throw some rosemary in here. Basically, really what you want to do is just grab this end and pull them backwards, and they come right off, just like that. And again, save your stems, because rosemary stems, guess what they taste like? Rosemary. What a lot of chefs do is you just take it and kind of slice that end off of there, that little tip, give it a good sharpening, and then you can skewer meat on it and cook it like that, and it infuses the meat with the rosemary. Just do some oregano. Get a little piece of that stem off of there. And again, a little stem, not going to hurt anything. That's garbage. Got some thyme. Thyme is another one that's so tiny. So each one of these packages runs you about $2-ish at most grocery stores. They're available year-round, which is kind of great. For $2, I'd like it to last more than 2 weeks. The problem with them is, again, you got a short shelf life. See, that's the real cost of fresh food. It doesn't really cost more on the front end. It's not like you pay more for a fresh tomato than you do for a canned tomato. The difference is canned tomato lasts for a year, and a fresh tomato lasts for 2 weeks. Another thing you can do with the stems, if you're not going to do what I'm going to do with them, is that you can just throw them on a sheet pan, put your roast on top of them, and then put them in the oven. Sage is like one of my absolute favorites. It just smells so good. Tastes really, I mean, you can't do chicken without sage. The tiny green onion, but it's not a green onion. And this one, it's gonna rip. It's set in the stack. Riding the knuckle. Riding the knuckle. And let your knife do the work. You hear about it all the time. For beginners, keep your knife on the board. This is the kind of thing that helps build your confidence for using the knife later. What all is that? Thyme, rosemary, chives, and oregano. So we're up to a full cup. Nice, yeah, you can mix it with the parsley. So we got a full cup of herbs. Boom. Now we're just going to use kosher salt. Coarse kosher salt. Why coarse kosher salt? Never use iodized salt for anything. Iodine adds a bitter flavor to the salt. Kosher salt, coarse salt, is better for pinch, and pinching is what we do in the big leagues, in the restaurants, in the kitchens. So there's a 1 cup of salt. And we're going to do two cups. So basically what you want is about twice as much salt as you have herbs. So we just take this over here to a sheet pan, pour it out, spread it out a little bit, and mix those. You gotta mix those herbs and the salt really good. And leave it sit out for about 12 hours overnight. The salt in open air is going to pull all the moisture out of the herbs. The herbs are then going to be preserved. But the salt is also going to pick up all the oils, the essential oils from those herbs, and it's going to season the salt and flavor the salt. So the salt's going to preserve the herbs are going to flavor the salt, and what you're going to end up with is a pure flavor booster. Now you can cater it to what recipes you want to work with. If you want an Italian blend, go rosemary, parsley, basil, oregano, add some garlic powder. Boom, you've got, it's every recipe that calls for salt that you're making pasta with, you're putting in Italian pasta in salt, Italian salt. For chicken, you go with sage, rosemary, thyme. Boom, you've got the salt for your crusted chicken. You're in your flour mix for your coating. And you can just keep doing that and just make, if you want just plain parsley salt, that's fine. A great one, if you like a margarita, cilantro salt is a great edge rimmer for a margarita.